Hello, everyone. It is Give a Scrap Hop time again. Thank you, Angela, at the Traveling Crafter, for once again inviting us to do your hop. It is my pleasure to give a scrap and join in on the fun. Much appreciated. And if you have not subscribed to Angela, her link is going to be linked in the description box, as well as a link to everybody that is participating. Here is the calendar. And again, it will be linked in the description box. Today is my lucky day. And then tomorrow we're going to hop over to Julie Day Trip Vintage and see what she has in store for us. So make sure you check out all of the links below and participate. And in the meantime, we are also going to challenge you to give a scrap and use the hashtag #GiveAScrap and create something that you do with your scraps. So maybe that's something that I can learn as well as others as well. So you have been challenged. So my Give a Scrap is going to begin with some scraps, my glue book, and a ruler. And I have some glue sticks over here to the side. And I have books, book pages, that is, that are needing to be used, in some scrap coffee dyed paper. And then I have a stack of papers that, you know, when you are doing a project and you print too many, that's what this stack is, and it needs to be torn down and used. So we are going to get started. And there are several ways that you can do masterboards. I have used this calendar paper. After I'm done with it, I fold it in half, and then I will masterboard on both sides, and then you have to cut it down, of course. I can tear it in half and masterboard on either side. You can masterboard on anything, a 12 by 12 paper that you are not going to use any longer. But today I am going to do a Gail Augustinelli style, and I'm going to use 5 book pages. Let's move the glue book and ruler. And my workspace may have to... She uses 5, but for my workstation, I'm going to do 4 book pages because I am limited on space right now. We are packing up to redo the craft studio. Well, it's a room right now, craft room, and we're going to make it into a studio. So Mr. Sean has... So I just line these up at the bottom. So he has a workstation. I'm going to glue off of camera. Let's see. And let's make it straight. I'm sorry for the shadows. It is dark here today because we are getting rain. So I don't have the natural light coming in today. All right. So now that your book pages are laid out, I'm just going to get a piece of paper. Let's see, what do we want to start with? Let's do some country. We're going to do a country. page today because and I don't make sure that mine is straight or anything like that. I just rip the paper and we go with it. So I'm just tearing strips of paper. I'll do that on camera for you guys. Sorry about that. And then I don't want the full. So I have two pieces that I'm going to use. And the first thing that I like to do when I use the book pages like Miss Gail is do the little seams here so that way your book pages aren't moving around all the time. The glue that I'm using is just glue sticks. I don't know if you guys like to save money, but at the end of the school year, I will stock up on glue sticks. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to get the glue strips in there. Sorry if you hear the alarm. My husband's alarm is going off. So I stock up, and I actually like the Pen and Gear glue. It goes on purple, and then of course it dries clear. And it's really cheap at the end of the school year. If you're a frugal shopper like myself, all right. And I'm just going to go right here to theme. So now those are glued together. One more page here. And we are going to get some chickens in this one. No lines on the bottom. No lines, no lines. Let's try that again. And we are just going to cut right here. And you can always trim it down later. So if you hang over the sides or the edges, not a big deal. And once we get our new studio up and going, so like down here I've hung off some, I'll just trim it off when I cut up my masterboard. So now that you got your base going, your pages will not come apart as easily. We are going to continue to fill up the front, and then we'll turn it over and do the back. I hope you guys are having a good day. This is going to air on April the 13th. So that is a Sunday. Let's see, what do I want to do? Let's get some writing up in the corners. So once I get them glued together, I like to work from the corners and then I work in. And on the seams, I like to do strips as well. No little small pieces. So let's get the kit that I'm using is from Lorna Taylor. It's one of her new farm kits. And I thought I had it wrote down on one of these pieces, and I do not. But go over to Lorna Taylor's Etsy shop, and you'll be able to find this kit to use. So we are just going to go down into this corner, and we're going to start working and filling this in. And masterboards are one of those things that are kind of relaxing for me. You get to sit and glue and not think. Don't spend too much about your layout. The purpose is to use up those scraps and have fun. All right, now I have some daisies. We'll go the opposite way. So corners and what I call the little spine area is what I'm working on filling in first. And again, we just want to make sure that we're getting the corner, and if you go over the edge, it's quite all right. I would rather go over than be short, like right there. There we go. Now I know we're covered. All right, I might use the little girl in the center of one, but we're going to wait and see. I am going to get this part of this window. And then on the back, I try to use neutrals and things that you can write on. Here's part of the window to the wall. Now I got Betty White stuck in my head. All right, let's turn that. I'm going to turn this just a little bit as I work. So we are going to be getting our studio set up for Mr. Sean to have a workstation in here and to start coming on and crafting and chatting with myself and the girls and Mr. Casey. So we like to do live craft and chats on Sunday mornings. So when you're watching this, we may be on or about to go on. So please hop over to my channel. I will have it linked for craft and chat. If we're on my channel, you'll have the direct link. If we're at Casey's, that will be linked as well, because Casey and I take turns swapping to do our craft and chat lives. All right, so let's just go. I love the parts that have writing for whatever reason. So we're going to use this piece for sure. Let's get some of the barn and flowers. So I'm just going to continue to tear these pieces and use them to fill in the front. Oh, so what? Got 3 pieces off of that one. So we will be on a hiatus for a little bit while we get our room situated, and we're putting down a new floor. We're taking out the carpet, and we are going to put in a vinyl plank floor, which is waterproof. And Shauna is going to create some workstations for us while we are putting the floor down, so we can then get reorganized and be ready to craft and chat more often. And I don't like to do videos like this because I forget to talk to you guys, and there's no interaction. I would rather be interactive than to do videos. And I know some people are the opposite, but that's why I do more craft and chat than doing videos. And everybody is entitled to do whatever makes them feel more comfortable. So, and then I save these magazine pages and I use them to make tags, pockets, and all that kind of stuff. So you can masterboard these as well. Ooh, I'm losing my mind. I'm like, I know I just had this piece, put it in the wrong spot. And in the process, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to glue my fingers together. And I just wipe it on the page. Please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, leave us a message if you have a YouTube channel and if you're going to participate in the Give a Scrap Hop with us. Or if we are not subscribed to your channel, I would love to support you as well. So please let me know if you have a channel or not, because we like to support all of the other channels as well. We do some live sales for now. We're destashing. Once that's completed, I think we're going to do more craft and chats than selling, unless I find a really good estate sale. Then I will come and share the goodies with you guys, because of course I can't use it all up. All right, and then let's see. I also have it was printed on regular copy paper, so I'm going to cut out and use these images too, because I love them. So let's see, we are going to get a rocking chair. I don't like to use regular copy paper for my ephemera and stuff, so when it prints out wrong, because, you know, it's not my fault, the printer didn't listen to what kind of paper, it should have changed itself. Just kidding. Error on the user. I will save them and use them for images on masterboards or the new ephemera that I'm making. So don't throw it away. And sometimes you can just put it back in and print on the back and use it as an insert in your journal. So we're getting this going, starting to come together right now. Let's see, my son, I have one son, for those that are new, and he got engaged last year, so we are going to be planning a wedding soon. So that's going to be fun. They've already purchased their home, and they are living in their home because they both did not want to pay rent any longer, and they knew that they were going to be together, so they purchased their home and moved in and getting it set up while they go through the process of starting their new life together. Let's see, I have 2 of these, so let's just cut. Let's go this way. Oh, and we're going to use some more of these. And there's no rhyme or reason when I'm doing a masterboard. If I see an opening, I will just start filling it in. I don't have, do you work from top to bottom or left or right? Nope. It's just whatever space I see works is where it goes. All right, so I'm liking that right there. And I do have a Tim Holtz, but a lot of my stuff we're packing up and I can't find stuff. So I'm using what stuff I have out and at hand's length. Let's see, let's fill in the spot down here too. What is everyone working on at the moment? Besides this, I am getting things together. I'm selling in a market on April the 26th. So I'm getting my handmade stuff together. Oh, I didn't get that one up there yet. So and when there are big globs on my glue book, I just take and wipe it on my page here. And again, we don't care if we're going over the sides. Better to go over than not enough. All right, let's bring in, I'll just save the images for the center, I think, and we're going to just work around. Here's some grungy stuff. This down here, I love this stuff. Let's bring some grunge to it. And I know, I don't know where my guillotine, excuse me, my guillotine trimmer is at in this process. So sometimes I don't like the torn look, and I will use the guillotine, but most of the time the messy look is what I go for. And I'm going to leave that. I'm going to use it gives character. All right, I think I'm going to start filling in all of the sides here. That is what is speaking to me today, so that is what we're going to do. That piece, we got a piece down here. Page is starting to get sticky. All right, here's another space we can fill. See, here I am not talking again. Let's see, what else do I have going on? On my channel, next Saturday, I will be dyeing papers with Miss Debbie Epps. So please come over and meet Miss Debbie and watch her process and how she dyes papers. She also does collage books that she sells on Etsy as well as on Amazon Marketplace. So make sure that you come and check that out. I'm excited to be dyeing some papers. All right, so we got some spaces here that we're going to fill in. So let's find a new sheet. Ooh, there's a fence. Got to use some fence. All right, let's go right here. Again, no rhyme or reason on what pages or order I'm doing anything. It's just whatever comes natural. It's a relaxing craft. Not a lot of thought process to go into it, so that is a good thing. Was it Martha Stewart that used that? It's a good thing. Let's see. So my husband likes to do sewing projects, and he makes ironing boards, and he does do paper crafts with me as well. He is definitely the sewer in the bunch, so it's funny when we go to get fabric for him, the women will look at me and they're like, oh, what are you making? I'm like, I don't know. You need to ask him what he's making. I'm just picking out the fabric. So he is definitely better at the sewing machine than I am. And then let's see, we bought him a serger this year, so he now has a serger. And if you guys come to a craft and chat, we also have one of our viewers, Miss Lucy. Hello, Lucy. She wrote him a theme song, because they now call him Serger Man, and he has changed his His YouTube channel name is now Surger Man, but if he's on by himself. Of course, I use the Lindy K and Sean all the time. So if you see Surger Man Sean in a chat, give him a big shout out. That's my husband. And he likes to go and participate and help support people as well. And then him and Casey like to bounce ideas off of one another on what they're working on and what to do. All right, so I think I'm going to go with the writing piece here. And then on Friday nights, you can find me on Clemens Crafts channel. We do a craft and chat live on Friday nights on Vanessa's channel. Love that girl to pieces. And we're going to put a lighter piece in there with some writing too. And then our borders are going to be done already. All right. See, this doesn't take hardly any time at all to fill in your collage pieces. And I use up all of my strips that I'm tearing out. And now I'm just going to start filling this in. Let's get a new blue page here. So my pages are starting to stick. I love going and watching the scrap hop because you go to all these other channels and you get to see how they use up their scraps, and it gives you some new ideas on ways that you can craft with scraps in your studio. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to go with an image again right here. So let's just cut it here. And then this small piece right here, the intersection, I just kind of like, let's go this way. It'll be easier. I won't use this, so I just trash that. So if you're using copy paper because, you know, your mind didn't work when you were printing, then you can use it in your collage because it will give it strength as well. All right, so I don't want the rocking chair there, so let's go with the chicken. Can't have two rocking chairs together. I don't know why, because they were together in the picture. Again, no judging. All right, so let's see, where do I want to fit this one in at? Oh, I didn't get this little piece done yet, or here, so I'm just going to stick it right there. So we live in southern Indiana and have been affected by the floods and things that have been happening. So our area is currently starting to flood in areas that it doesn't normally until the Ohio crest some. All right, so where else do I want to put some images? Let's see. I'm going to cut right above the pig's head because I don't want bacon right now. Sorry, couldn't pass it up. And we're going to get this little thin strip here. So where do we want to put the strip? Perfect. It's going to go right in there. And then we'll just have a square there. And the bigger the piece of paper, the bigger I like it because it will cover more area. So if you're looking for a quick project day, then just leave them in the bigger strips. So there is that. And we're working on the pigs here. And I'm going to get rid of this little white strip here. So where are we at? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. So for me, I like to use the bigger piece to rip and put the smaller piece under the ruler. Just another little tip in case you wonder how I do that. All right, I think the pigs are going. I think they're going to go right there. No, changed my mind. They're going to go right there. Here's the pig. Now let's work on the cow sheet. And sometimes you'll get that where you pull the paper out because they're not holding down hard enough. All right, we're going to cut here and here. So we're going long strips on this one. All right, let's see. Where do I want to start filling these in at? So I could go there. This page is almost done. 2 spots there. Okay, I think we're going to go with one here. There's one. And let's go with, no. Okay. That one is too small, so I will stick that one right there. And this one will go there. So it's like putting a puzzle together, but it's a puzzle that you are creating. And your image is going to be whatever you create with. There we go. Now that spot is done. And I have another cow, so I don't like the white with the brown on there, so we are going to cut that off. And I don't seal this once I'm done. You can if you would like with some matte medium. Most of the time I don't unless my piece starts falling apart. Let's see. I think I'm going to stick this one right there. Actually, I think, no, I'm going to go to the top because I don't want to end up covering the cows up. So I think I'm going back over here. So if I have a focal point that I want to use, I will make sure that I stick it in a spot where I don't accidentally cover it up, because I used to do that all the time. And then I'm like, hey, didn't I put a butterfly on here? Well, I did, but I ended up covering it up, not paying attention. All right, so that took care of one complete sheet. I have this one, but I'm not sure that I'm going to use it. I have quite a bit of these. I don't know why. And then I have this one. So let's see. I'm going to use this one because I'm going to bring some grunge here. So we're going to go right here. And of course, I can't not use the window. The flowers are too big, so I'm going to leave them for maybe another project. Because for this, I don't think it would work. I would end up cutting it up anyway. So let's see where we get with this page. All right, I want to cut the white strip off. And let's see here. We're going to cut it right here. And we're going to cut it right here. And yes, it starts to curl up, but once you start doing the back side, most of the time it will flatten back out. If not, you can either put it under a book overnight, let it completely dry, and then most of the time that will go away. Okay, let's see, we are right there, which covers that spot. I have a tiny, tiny spot right here we got to fill in. So let's see, we're just going to put a strip of this. Once I see those little small holes, I try to fill them in because I've never, finished a project and had a hole in it. Oh, this is what you learn as you go on. So now this end is completely done. I have this spot here that we need to fill in. So let's get some grungy going on here. And I also will collage with with jelly prints that I have done. All right, so I don't need to go all the way over, so we're going to cut it right there. So we just like to make this little project go as quick as possible, but have fun with it. So there's that. That is all filled in now. So we're ready to do this area here. Hello, honey.
Hello.
All right, so master boards can be whatever you would like them to be. See, I think I'm just going to use that and go to here. And then I'll put that over there. So sometimes I leave my ruler so I know what area I was just working in. Because I don't know if you guys have my issue, but I will forget what area I was just working in. All right. So we have a small spot here that we still have to cover. And then I'm going to use this down here, I believe. All right, so we've got a small skinny spot here. We're going to use the flowers. And I think this is called Farm Life. I know it is not the Down on the Farm. This is one of her newer kits. So go over to Lorna Taylor, Tailor Made Journals on Etsy, and you'll be able to find this kit. So let's see, I think I'm going to take and use most of this window in that spot. We're going to cut it right there. And I try to keep my area tidied up while I am working. However, sometimes that does not work. I'm going to make the windows go the same way. Right? No. Almost covered up the cow. Did you see that? All right. So we've got the front all covered up. And I'm just going over to make sure I don't have any book page showing. I don't see any. That's the house. All right. So we are going to flip it over. I'm going to show you just a little bit on the back because then I start using, let me bring this back over. I start using coffee dyed large pieces and things that you can write on, as well as music pages and book pages. So let's see. And kind of do these in big, like I'm not cutting this down. I like to have large writing spaces on the back. So I do my best to not try and cut these up so much. You may prefer that you like smaller writing spaces. It's your piece. You cover it as you see best. I just like the bigger pieces. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to put coffee there. How many of these do I have? Oh, I have quite a few. Okay. Then I'm going to cut a big piece of the green and white. I used up one glue stick already this morning, so let's start on the next one. And I try to not leave any space with this back. I try to fill in as much as I can. And when I'm doing collage pages, I leave the borders. Most of the time I don't use them, but I'm going to use them today. When I'm masterboarding, I leave them because it's added writing space on the back of your project. But again, your preference, no judgment, no wrong or right way to do it. It's yours. And if you don't want to use the little white edges, don't. And don't let anyone tell you different. All right, so I'm going to bring in a grungy piece. And let's see. There's a little bit of white. All right, I'm going to rip it here. And then I'm going to take the small white section off. And again, because I'm going to be cutting this up, I'm putting this whole piece down without. So see how it's coming together, and it takes care of a lot of your big strips. If you don't have big strips, use small and fill it in. But since I had printed all of this paper wrong, then I just need to use it up so I'm not stowing it away. And I prefer this method anyway. So you've already got one whole sheet done. I'm going to use the other half of this one that we did. Oh, and here's a big glob. So I'm just going to go right here. I'm going to take a sheet of this now and fill in there. The coffee dyed pieces are the best because you get more writing space. Sorry about that. I forgot to mute my Facebook Messenger this morning. All right, and let's go with, let's do a book page. All right, so I have a book page, and I'm just going to, I'm going to use this side. So we're just going to take it right there. I know most of the time you want the book page to have writing on it, but since it's the back, it's going to be your writing space on a piece that you're going to cut up. So I like to use the blank side. There's that. So see how quick it is when you are using. All right, so let's cut this off right here. And I want it to go right there. So I hope you guys have enjoyed a new way to masterboard. Again, this was not my idea. I seen Miss Gail do this a few times and was like, how genius when you can't find things. And then it just so happened we had started packing things away when the hop came along. So I was like, okay, book pages it is, because I need to participate because I said I would, and this is stuff I still had out, and instead of boxing it away, I'm using it up. All right, new glue stick again. See, we're using up some glue sticks too, because school is about to be out before we know it, and we'll have more sales on the glue sticks. My Walmart will start running them on sale for like 50 cents. And then if I get it down and it's sometimes they will go to 10 cents, and then I go in and buy them all. So last year I had 2 complete boxes full of glue. My husband, I thought, was going to lose his mind. But guess what? We have almost used it all up. You know what? I'm going to use bigger pieces. So we are going to go here. And we're going to stop it right there. All right, so we're going to find the top of the piece of paper, make sure that it's at the top. And that leaves one strip here, and I think this sheet right here will work. We're just going to cut off that section right there. And then we're going to be done. So if you have quiet time and you need something relaxing, what is more relaxing than gluing paper to paper? All right, our last sheet. I don't know where my trimmer is at, or I would have showed you how to cut this down, but you cut it down however you see fit. So let's see. This particular book page was 9 inches. So I would cut it down into tags and journaling cards, belly bands. So you have large spaces to journal on. And this is the other side that we came up with. And see how it was curling, and when you do the back, it kind of flattened out. So you guys, I'm going to say thank you for joining me in our Give a Scrap hop. You have been challenged to participate. Be sure to hashtag Give a Scrap. And here is the calendar if you would like to screenshot. Again, I'm going to link all of the web pages that Angela has for all the participants. They're going to be linked in the description. You guys have a fabulous day and happy crafting. Bye, everyone. Love you long time.